How's it going, guys? Thank you so much for being here for I'm going to make this actually the first episode of Theme Park Shark Live. We're officially doing live streams. So hopefully every Saturday now. I kind of like the feeling of a Saturday Night Live, kind of similar to, you know, the world famous show. So definitely kind of a cool concept. Hopefully we will keep it going weekly. That's kind of the goal here. But first and foremost, just wanted to thank you guys, obviously, for being in the live stream. We have plenty to talk about, plenty to chat about today. And I'm excited for you guys to see everything that we have planned for you. Already, straight out the gate, if you guys have comments, if you have questions, if you have anything that you want to chat about and talk about today, definitely start putting them in the chat box right now so that we can begin discussing that throughout the episode. concepts for today. We're going to be going over Universal Studios Hollywood, any changes to Universal Studios Florida, perhaps maybe even dive into the Bourne Stuntacular that's going to be opening up. If you guys want to chat about the Walking Dead attraction that's still set to close at Hollywood here in the next few weeks. Jurassic World is ready to go under refurbishment on Monday. So there is literally a lot to talk about across the country right now and even around the world. We just put out a video this week about changes that are happening at Universal Beijing and what's developing at the Jurassic World land over there. So there's definitely a lot to be excited about. There's a lot going on, and I'm excited to dive into your guys' questions. So let's see what you guys are going through so far. Just want to give some shout outs. Hello, hello. Yes, the Shark is live, Living with John. We're definitely live. I appreciate you guys being in here. It's gonna be fun today, guys. It's gonna be fun. Totally new setup. Hopefully, you guys appreciate the video quality because we're officially coming off my camera, so that's different now. We're doing that. We're doing a lot of different things today with the live stream, so it's definitely a new experience. There's a lot to be excited about. There's a lot to kind of discuss. So I'm excited to be here with you guys and excited to discuss everything that we are going through today. So let me just again make sure we are showing everything that's supposed to be showing here. Perfect. Trying out a lot of new things today, so still getting set up on the first episode. I'm going to start checking out your questions. So let me add Andrew Jackson's comment right now. That flew right over my head. Andrew Jackson wants to know, how many Florida theme park YouTubers have I met and who do I want to meet? So I have met Tim Tracker. Obviously, I've met Alicia Stella. We do a lot of work together. And then I think other than that, that might be the main two, honestly, that I have met. But I'm sure as time goes on and I keep doing YouTube, I'm probably going to meet plenty of them. I've met a lot more on the LA side just because of where I'm based. Going to theme parks, it's a lot easier to meet the LA YouTubers and vloggers. So I meet a lot of them in LA. Sam wants to know if we can talk about Super Nintendo World. The answer to that question is absolutely unequivocally yes. We can, of course, talk about Super Nintendo World. I definitely do want to talk about Super Nintendo World. So if you have specific questions about Super Nintendo World, definitely go ahead and leave them below so that I can address them. I want to know what you guys specifically want to know because I've gone over Super Nintendo World quite a bit. And some of the videos that I've put out, I've probably put out 3, 4, maybe even 5 videos now about Super Nintendo World. So if there are specific details that you are curious about, definitely drop them in, and I will do my best to answer those questions for you guys. Joey wants to know if I'm excited for Epic Universe. Hopefully you guys saw it today. Alicia Stella and I did release a video on the Universal Classic Monsters area that is rumored to be opening at Universal's Epic Universe. It's a really great video. It's super informative. I think it even provides a lot of visuals for you guys to get a really good grasp on what's to come on that specific world of that theme park. If you guys don't even know what we're talking about with Epic Universe is a brand new Orlando theme park that is set to open by Universal Studios. It's their 3rd official dry park. Universal Studios Florida, Islands of Adventure, Epic Universe, set to open in about 2023, we're speculating. And the interesting thing about Epic Universe is that every single world within this theme park is set to be a fully immersive world. So think about Diagon Alley, think about Hogsmeade, think about Galaxy's Edge over at Disney. Those are very immersive worlds. You can even think about the Pandora, the Avatar Land. Basically, every single world within Epic Universe is going to be to that scale. So it's a really exciting theme park. It's supposed to be a groundbreaking theme park. It's going to change the game. So am I excited for Epic Universe? Absolutely. If all goes the way it should, Epic Universe is going to be an absolute game changer. Tron wants to know, ironically, what are my thoughts on the Tron ride? I think the Tron ride is a fantastic attraction. I've heard nothing but good things about it. I haven't personally been able to go on it, but I've seen enough POVs. I've seen enough about the attraction to kind of know that I'm excited to see it open at Disney World. I'm excited to see it finally arrive in the States. I think it's a great attraction, and it deserves a place here in America. So I'm very excited about that. Bloxy Boy says, I'm going to DCA tomorrow. Nice. Enjoy your day at DCA. I hope you have a fantastic day at California Adventure. Yeah, have a great day. Let's see. This is a question by Jeff Cunningham. Do I think the Mario Kart ride will have a ton of breakdowns? I think if we look at Universal Studios historically, we need to look at all of the groundbreaking attractions that they've tried to build. Gringotts was a groundbreaking attraction. Forbidden Journey was a groundbreaking attraction. Hagrid's isn't truly a groundbreaking attraction, but it's still a new attraction where they tried to push the bill on what they offer. So if we look at them historically, Universal tends to go down. They don't break. Like, the ride's not broken, but throughout the day, it will probably intermittently go down quite a bit while they work out the kinks. I'm hoping that they have these issues mainly in Japan, because Japan's going to have the ride so much earlier than all of us. They're going to have it for about a year. So by the time it ends up porting over to Hollywood and then even to Orlando 2023, many years out, I think they'll have most of the kinks worked out by the time they bring it to America. That might have been part of the plan. That might have been part of the strategy. But I think it's very obvious that by the time it gets to America, most of those kinks will be worked out just through the trial and error of running it in Japan for so long. So I think that's exciting. Joshua wants to know, what attraction do I think could potentially replace The Walking Dead at Universal Studios Hollywood? That's a great question. It's a question that we've kind of addressed and we kind of think we know an answer to. To be honest, we don't think anything is going to be going in there, at least right now. Between now and Horror Nights, which, begins in September, we think that building is going to be empty. It's a completely empty building from now until then. So we're not speculating. It's kind of too far out to speculate on the actual attraction that's going to go in there. But at this point, the one thing that we are saying for sure is that it's just going to be empty for now. There's not going to be anything in it. What I do expect happening is a re-theme of the front, because I think it's going to have to match the rest of the facade that's currently in place at Pet's Place. So if they're just trying to make a cohesive street and kind of make it all family friendly, I think the facade actually as soon as it closes, they have about a month in between closure and Pet's opening. So I think within that month, we're actually going to see the facade changed pretty rapidly to kind of match and be cohesive on Pet's Place. I'm expecting that. You can pretty much take that one to the bank. Wade Willie TV wants to know, do I think they will add more practical effects with the new Jurassic World refurbishment? I absolutely do. I mean, let's think about what we know. Let's think about what we're not even speculating. We know that an Indominus Rex full-body animatronic is on the way. What else do we know? We know that the I-Rex is set to battle the T-Rex. There's literally going to be a full-out war at the end of this ride that we're probably going to be so shocked about, we're going to forget about the drop. We're going to be watching these massive animatronics going at each other, and then boom, we're going to head down the water, which is exactly what I was kind of hoping they would do, because back in the 90s when Jurassic Park initially debuted, or I have to check, I believe it was the 90s. Back whenever Jurassic Park initially debuted, that animatronic was so groundbreaking and so mesmerizing that people were staring at that over the drop. People still do it today, but the ride's kind of aged. The ride's kind of seen better days, so people know the drop's there, and people aren't as mesmerized by seeing a big T-Rex animatronic anymore. I think having a full-body Indo with a battle is going to bring back that kind of awe-inspiring feeling where we're going to be taken back, checking out the whole scene. We want to know what's going on, and we will forget that there is a drop coming. I'm excited for it. I think it's going to do a lot of good things. The other things that we potentially know is that they're going to take a look at Predator Cove. We don't know how much they're going to do to Predator Cove yet, but we do know that it has been rumored that Universal does know that we're not too happy, or the overall fan sentiment is that Predator Cove is kind of lacking in action, especially if you consider what used to be in there. There was a boat being torn up by dinosaurs, a falling Jeep, the spitting dinosaurs. Literally, the entire thing was kind of lined up with action. So the fact that we don't have much in there anymore, outside of Claire kind of coming in on a TV and talking with us, it makes sense that they would want to go ahead and change that. And to me, if I had my guess, if I could put a bet on it today, I would say that we are going to see some changes in Predator Cove as well. Jeff Cunningham wants to know, how do you become a channel moderator? I take into consideration people that come into my live streams a lot. I really value channel loyalty and people that view my streams a lot. If you message me a lot, I appreciate that too. If you DM me on Instagram, I appreciate that too. Just the best way that I can personally get to know you more is a good way to become a channel moderator. The more I get to know you, the better the chance is. And then, of course, just ask me. If I feel I can trust you and the answer is yes, I will obviously tell you yes. And if not, I'll say, hey, not right now. But, if you keep coming to my streams and you keep being part of it, I will definitely consider it. So that's pretty much it. Sam's asked a great question, which I actually moderately addressed in an upcoming podcast with another special guest. It's not the same special guest that's going to be coming on this live stream today, but I did another special guest podcast here in the studio, and we did kind of discuss the ride system that might be coming to the new Avengers ride at California Adventure. If you guys aren't up to speed on this, this isn't the Spider-Man ride. This isn't the ride that's going to be opening actually this year. If you guys don't know what Avengers Campus is, it's at Disney's California Adventure, which is the sister park, obviously, to Disneyland, right across the street. They are currently building an entirely new world that is specifically geared towards Marvel. Kind of makes sense. They already have Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout there, so it's just kind of it's going to be cohesive. It's going to make sense. All the rides are going to kind of just be in one spot. It makes sense to be Marvel. And honestly, it makes me think that Disney has known for a long time that Marvel was going to be in there, because I think a lot of us were honestly kind of confused when we saw the change from Tower of Terror over to Mission Breakout. So the fact that it is happening now, I think it kind of just shows us that Disney knew what they were doing, and it was planned out far, far ahead. But as far as this attraction, the Avengers ride is supposed to be like the key attraction. It's going to be the main attraction that is actually like on the way. It's still a few years out, and we don't even know anything yet. Like, we've honestly like haven't been given anything like concrete that we can truly go on and be like, yep, that's the way this ride is. So my guess is honestly as good as your guess at this point. I think if we can kind of look at history, I think it's going to have to be some sort of high-end simulator just for the things that they're trying to pull off. I don't see it being as practical as Rise of Resistance, but I'm hopeful that it is. I think that's what we can all kind of hope, is that it might be as practical as Rise. But if not, please don't be disappointed. I think it will still be a really great attraction. And DCA needs a great e-ticket attraction, so it's definitely good for the park. Julian, thank you so much for being in here. I remember you coming to the last live stream, so thank you for coming again. I appreciate that you're a fan. It means the world that you come in and check out my live stream, so thank you so much. Seriously. You guys are going to Disneyland tomorrow. First and foremost, have a great time at Disneyland. Have a lot of fun. What do I suggest that you do? You got to try to get on Rise of Resistance, of course. I'm sure you already know that. Definitely try to get on if you can. It's easier said than done, especially on a weekend. So definitely try if you can. And yeah, definitely try to get on that if you can. I'm actually going to pause just for 1 second because I got to plug in my computer. We're running low. I will be back probably like in 10 seconds here. Just give me a second. All right, sorry about that, guys. Didn't realize I didn't plug in my computer. Totally my fault. I'm asked to answer one of Julian's questions again. What role on the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run is my favorite to do? Personally, my favorite's the pilot. The rest of them are just kind of pushing buttons and kind of just, they don't feel as interactive as the pilot position, which you guys can answer this too. Do you think the pilot position has come less interactive as the days have gone by? I've kind of messed with the stick, and it doesn't seem to move as much as it used to when the ride first opened. Kind of interesting. It seems to be less interactive. It seems to be more on rails now. I don't know if it's just me, if it's in my head. I would love to know what you guys think about Smuggler's Run, and if you've noticed kind of a lack of interactivity over the last few months. Doesn't seem to be as sensitive. It's just, I don't know if it's in my head. Maybe I was so happy the first time I rode it that I was like, whoa. But the last few times I've ridden it, I've been like pushing up or pushing down. It's like, it feels like it's doing its own thing. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. ThrillSeeks wants to know if I'm going to do a European theme park trip this year. I don't think I'm going to do it this year, but I definitely want to do it soon. There's a lot of theme parks, obviously, in Europe that I do want to see. The big trip that we do have planned for this year is Japan, and then we're probably going to hit up Hong Kong and a few other parks. So kind of on that side. So not Europe yet, but maybe soon. Definitely Japan this year, for sure. If you guys haven't hit the like button yet on the live stream, definitely please hit the like button. I appreciate you guys being here. Every time you hit the like button, it helps feed the video out for more people to come in and join us and discuss it. So if you're in here, please do go ahead and hit the like button so we can keep feeding this video out for more people to come in and see us. And if you are so inclined, definitely share this live stream to anybody that you think may be interested in coming in and just chatting about theme parks with us tonight. I'm going to be live at least for another probably half hour, 45 minutes. So definitely share the video out and let's keep the conversation going here. I appreciate you guys being in here and spending your Saturday night with me. This is a lot of fun. Sam wants to know what I think about Secret Life of Pets at Universal. I think it's going to be a great attraction. I think it's an attraction that the park needs. I think it's an attraction that is going to be a filler. It's a filler in a park that needs a classic dark ride Omnimover style attraction with mini animatronics and sets. Universal needs that. Universal doesn't really have it. It's all simulators. It's Simpson. It's Despicable Me. It's even Panda, which is a show, but it's a screen. And then you go to the studio tour and it's Kong and Fast and Furious. It's literally like the television screen theme park. So hopefully we'll get more physical attractions as the year goes on. I think Mario Kart is proof that we are. I think Secret Life of Pets is proof that we're getting more physical attractions. And when I personally discussed with a Universal executive his thoughts on Jurassic World, he said to me that we understand fans don't like media-based rides. He didn't say screen. He said media-based rides. So Universal is very aware about the fan sentiment of simulators at this time, which is kind of interesting because I think simulators were kind of groundbreaking in the 80s and 90s, and everybody wanted to ride simulators over the physical attractions that they were getting back then. Interesting how things change. It's always interesting. To me, that's like receiving physical mail now, how we get excited when we receive physical mail over emails. It's like we've had emails, which is simulators, for so long. We're ready for some physical mail again. JP, what do I think about... JP wants to know what I think about the fate of Revenge of the Mummy. I don't know. Why don't you come on and let me know? I think it's time you answer that question yourself. What about a Jurassic Park World land at Epic? It's not going to happen at this point. What this question is asking is if I think there's going to be a Jurassic Park World at Epic Universe. It's not rumored. It's not even in the concept art. So at this point, no. There are 2 expansion plots at the theme park, so you never know what's going to go in the expansion plots. But if I had to guess, it's just not in the cards to ever be at that particular park, unfortunately. It'd be nice if it was, though, for sure. John, this is a great question, and this is a question that I'm actually going to extend to you guys as well. I really want to know if you guys can answer this question. Let's keep it to Universal Studios Hollywood. If you could take out one attraction at Universal Studios Hollywood, which attraction would it be and why? So we're not just going to do this for no reason. So I've been actually tasking you guys on YouTube in the community section to play little games where you're the head of a theme park. So let's do it again in here. And it's not for no reason. So we can't just go into the back lot. We can't start tearing down sound stages. We literally have to stay within the confines of the theme park and take out one ride in addition for a new one. So if we have to do that, if we're stuck with those stipulations, which ride goes? I'm kind of curious what you guys say. I'm definitely curious what you guys would take out at Universal Studios Hollywood. Sam's asking if I think Universal should remove Super Silly Funland for another ride. I think that's tough. That's kind of a loaded question because right now it's really the only play area for kids outside of the mini dino play area and the Jurassic World ride queue. So the fact that we used to have the Nickelodeon Splash Zone and the Coke Soak Zone right next to T2 kind of tells me that we still need it. And at this point, we are going to bring in our special guest of the day to help me answer some of these questions for you guys. So let's get flipped over to our guest. And here we are with JP Land 21, the Universal Studios Hollywood expert.
Hola.
JP goes to the parks way more than me, so I feel that he has a really good grasp on what's going on at Hollywood. So I'm happy that he is here chatting with you guys, and I hope you do appreciate having JP in here. If you are excited to see JP, definitely let him know in the comments, show him some love. And JP and I are actually going to dive into some of these questions together now that are coming, especially since a lot of these seem to be kind of geared towards Universal Studios Hollywood. We kind of have an opportunity to dive in together. So I think that's a lot of fun. First of all, JP, thank you so much for being here, man.
Yeah, it's good to be here. A little shocked. There's a lot of people on the live.
There is. It's
really cool though.
It's a good live. So I'm going to start throwing on some questions for you. Hopefully, are you watching the live so you can also see the questions that are coming up?
Yeah, I actually just pulled up the comments. So
Perfect. So keep it on just on the side, mute it, do whatever you got to do, and I'll throw up comments still that we can answer together.
perfect.
Um, Here's one right here. This is an answer to a question that I asked obviously earlier, which is the one attraction that people would take out at Universal Studios Hollywood if they had the choice, or if they were kind of tasked with that job. Um, this Juan said that he would take out The Simpsons and add Universal Monsters there.
Oh.
I feel like that's like a
That's
total
a
like blue sky dream, right? That
yeah. E. How
boy,
do I respond to this?
that's just a big one, huh?
Do I just counter it with something
Yeah,
else?
go for it.
That's all right. So I think we talked about this in a podcast. I don't know if that went live or not, but uh, so we essentially talked about the fate of the Simpsons whole, like the whole Simpsons land, and with Disney purchasing Fox, is that going to affect Universal in any way? Of course, speaking about contracts, I'd say no. I think the Simpsons is pretty much good for another good 8 years
Yeah.
or so.
Yep.
So I don't think we should worry about The Simpsons as much as people don't like it. I mean, if it needs to go, I mean, Universal will probably take the extra precaution of removing it. But I think they're relying on surveys for that.
You and I did
Um,
talk about this a little on our Instagram live stream that we kind of collabed on earlier this week. I think something that we both kind of agreed on and something that we said would be exciting. Just for the fact that Simpsons does seem to be stuck in the park for so long, they've built the little mini world outside in front of it, so it seems to be pretty darn safe. Um, it would be exciting if they just tried to reimagine the ride, but then we also decided that there might be some legality troubles there. It might not be the most easy thing to do from a legal standpoint, but it seems to be a really great option. Just because we also discussed the ride system that they're using is not their ride system. It's Back to the Future's ride system, which is a really old ride system to still have in the park, especially for a ride that we're both estimating might be in the park till like 2030. So
yeah,
I think it's a loaded question. I think it's tough, but hopefully they do decide to do something. I don't know. I don't know.
but I do want to answer the whole Universal Monsters part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, looking down at Universal Hollywood, at least, what's one of our oldest attractions in the park at the moment? And that would be Revenge of the Mummy, the ride.
Right.
I think someone asked something about the mummy. Oh yeah, that was me.
Should I throw your question? Here we go. What do you think
yeah,
about
you
the
can.
fate of Revenge of the Mummy? You can answer your own question, JP. I think that's the first time someone's ever done that on live stream, so that's impressive.
Got some foreshadowing over here.
There you go. All right, let's hear what you think about the fate of Revenge of the Mummy.
So I just recently listened to your podcast with Alicia.
Yes.
Alicia, with Universal Monsters. That sounds extremely exciting, and I'd love to see that in the Universal Hollywood park, especially. I mean, Universal Hollywood, that's literally where all those monster movies are made, so why not even bring it to the park? What I'd love to see is maybe even a smaller attraction compared to the one in Florida. But Revenge of the Mummy, it's definitely large enough to hold an entire land, if you ask me. I know, looking back, I guess a year or two prior to where we see Nintendo World currently, we were predicting that Nintendo World will be in place of Revenge of the Mummy. So, do you think Universal still has that idea of replacing Revenge of the Mummy with a different type of land?
I don't know if it's necessarily going to be a land, but I think Revenge of the Mummy has to be on the chopping block for at least a different attraction at some point. It's kind of interesting if they do look the classic Universal Monsters way, because it is kind of comparable. It's like we're losing one monster for another, and maybe it's at least we're losing it for multiple monsters if they end up doing a similar mashup style attraction at Hollywood. I would just be really surprised if they gave us a ride that seems to be based around an entire world that's being constructed at Epic Universe. If they picked a ride literally from that world and dropped it in Hollywood, I'd really be surprised. But then again, well, no, I can't say that. I was going to say I'd be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised because they're doing it with Nintendo, but they're not doing it with Nintendo. They're building the entire world here. I mean, we're getting the world and the ride. So I can't remember a time, but this is also a first where Universal's built full-scale worlds that they've picked out a ride out of a world without building the world with it. I just don't think that happens much. I don't think it's happened at all in theme park history, to be honest, thus far. So if we did get that particular ride that they're going to build at Epic Universe, it seems to me like the world would also have to come with it. And I don't know how big or the scale that would actually have to take, but maybe that would make sense. That area of land has been slated for Diagon like for a long time. Like people have thought like maybe it's Diagon, maybe like that's the spot Diagon Alley could fit in. So let's say the property of Potter for whatever reason just isn't aging well or whatever it is. Classic Monsters is classic. I mean, it's gonna be around for a long time, and it's representative of the Universal brand. So if they are gonna build another full scale world down there, it kind of makes sense to be Classic Monsters.
Hmm. And we definitely saw similar patterns with Universal putting the Wizarding World of Harry Potter over here.
True, that's true. Yeah, I mean, we definitely are seeing worlds ported. It's just the question becomes is like, what is the next world? Is it Diagon Alley? Is it now? To be honest, before this live stream, I've never considered Classic Monsters going in that spot that we always thought Diagon Alley might go in. But now that I'm thinking about it, now that my wheels are turning, it makes a lot of sense. Especially if we're gonna lose Mummy, it makes a lot of sense. I think it would satisfy a lot of people. Wow, that's a really interesting one. What do you guys think about that? I'm interested what you guys think in the comments. The plot of land that we're talking about is the Revenge of the Mummy spot and some of the backlot that would have to go, maybe a soundstage or two. This is a plot of land that for a long time people speculated might end up going to Diagon Alley. Never came to fruition, obviously. It was a big rumor. But if we are going to utilize that space again for a full-scale world at Universal Studios Hollywood, would you guys prefer for it still to be Diagon Alley? Or would you be excited about this Classic Monsters world from Epic Universe being ported into Hollywood? Because if we're going to lose Mummy, we might as well lose it for another monster attraction. Wouldn't you guys say? I'm kind of curious what you guys would think of that. Let me know. Definitely let me know your thoughts on that one for sure. I'm going to get to another question. Let's see. This is a question from Julian again. Julian wants to know, will Universal Orlando ever get a Jurassic World ride? What's your opinion on that?
I mean, looking down at Hollywood, has it been much of a success over here?
What's your opinion on that? I mean, here's the thing. I've noticed this. When people come over here from Orlando and they ride the attraction, and I don't know if it's the excitement of just being on an attraction that you can't get on willingly because you don't live in the location. Like sometimes I feel like I'm a lot more excited about certain Orlando attractions just because I can't get on them all the time. So I don't know if that's happening for them, but a lot of them that are coming here and talking to me after they ride the ride are telling me that unequivocally they like the ride better than their Jurassic Park. It's happened a lot. I know it's strange, but it has happened a lot. Like I said, it might be the thing of being excited to ride an attraction you can't normally ride, but they have said it.
I mean, I feel the same way about their Fast and Furious. I don't know why they're complaining. It looks amazing compared to ours, obviously.
I think that they're just upset that their Fast and Furious actually took a physical space where an attraction should be in their park, and it's not just an addition like ours is on the tram. Because truly, the whole experience is truly the tram with like an added scene and a cool queue. If you want to call it cool, it's a garage. But yeah, I understand the sentiment there on Supercharged, but man, I am surprised on Jurassic World. I'll try to tackle your question, Julian. Do I think Universal Orlando will ever get Jurassic World? Yes, I think ever. Yes, I don't think Jurassic Park personally has the staying power in Universal's mind. Of course, it's classic. Of course, it's going to live forever. But just in Universal's mind, as these Jurassic World films keep getting pumped out, especially bringing back the original Jurassic Park cast for this next Jurassic World movie, I think that's only going to make the series even more popular and beloved by the fans. So I think it's a matter of time before they get the overlay as well. I just don't know if it'll be the same attraction. They might get their own attraction with some changes, kind of like they did with River Adventure. Their River Adventure was not identical to ours. It had some different elements and scenes, and I think it's very possible that they will learn from what Hollywood did with Jurassic World and maybe make some adjustments. I think that's a really good guess, to be honest. And it's also cool that they're getting a Jurassic coaster. I think right now it's kind of, people have speculated it's a Jurassic World coaster, but it's honestly, a lot of people are saying it's just a Jurassic coaster. So it's going to be a pretty full-fleshed world out there. I know you guys were just asking me, one of the comments asked me if there would be a Jurassic Land at Epic Universe. Your land at Islands of Adventure is going to be pretty darn full. I mean, you got the whole Jurassic Park play area. You've got the River Adventure. You're going to have this coaster. I mean, there is a lot to do in there. So, and you have the Discovery Center. So you have your world. Like, Definitely don't be sad it's not going to Epic and that Beijing is getting such an incredible world. Chris Clark is asking us a question. Chris wants to know if it's true that Universal is replacing the Walking Dead attraction with a VIP lounge for YouTubers to chill between live streams.
That really seems like the elephant in the room right now.
Let's not address, I guess, the second part, but let's just address the first part. Not necessarily a VIP lounge, but do you think it could end up being maybe a pass member lounge like they have in Orlando? Orlando's pass member lounge was kind of neat when I went, so we don't have it. Do you think that could end up being something eventually down the road?
I think yes, actually. So what I've been, me being me, I'm asking around
Sure.
Universal with my recent visit today. I asked around some people like via Show Control. They're the people with the blue shirts.
Sure.
So what I've been told so far is that for the rest of this year, after it closes, it's just going to be an empty building. And they also stated why it's closing. And this is the real reason. It's because the emergency exit for Secret Life of Pets is actually right there next to the Walking Dead queue. So for an example, if the ride goes down and they need a evac for whatever reason, they can't have that area crowded. So in the standpoint of safety, that's one of the main reasons why they're shutting it down. But if they're going to leave that building empty, that means that they can possibly even use it for a seasonal event such as Horror Nights, and that would be a great way to utilize that building. But maybe for future years, I'd say yes, it would be possible that they change it to a VIP lounge or even a store or restaurant.
At this point, at least for this year's Horror Nights, it gives them something that they didn't have last year and for the previous few Horror Nights. It gives them a spot where they're not just, kind of revamping The Walking Dead and changing The Walking Dead a little bit. Now they can actually put in an entirely new property in there for Horror Nights. So that's kind of interesting. That's exciting to have another space for a unique property, at least. I mean, it's sad we're losing a year-round walkthrough, but there's going to be potentially, when you say that leaves room for one more house this year? Like, not necessarily in numbers, but as far as, like, something different. Because it's normally The Walking Dead.
And
go ahead.
Yeah, I think that would be the replacement for Parisian Courtyard, because I think we are speculating that whole area is just going to transform after Secret Life of Pets open. So that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. Are you still speculating that in the entire French Street, which is on the opposite side, obviously, of Despicable Me in that corner, and the Courtyard, are you speculating that that's all just kind of bulldozed and flattened, or do you think it's going to be rethemed? What's your overall take on what's going to happen to that side of the park? I think that's a street that's kind of not talked about too much at this point, but it's a lot of people. I think a lot of people are curious about it.
I do think it's going to be rethemed, but I don't think they can utilize it for much, honestly, because right now, looking at the construction standpoint of everything, you look at the Baker Street side of that whole like Streets of the World.
Sure.
I guess that's what they're identifying it as. So building, they're retheming that whole area. So that I don't think they would bulldoze any of that area. They would definitely retheme it though. I'd see that happen. I'd love to see more entertainment brought into the park itself. So with Secret Life of Pets being brought into the park, they can definitely transform that whole area to look more like a New York street, have live entertainment. That's something we're missing here in Hollywood. We're missing a lot of live entertainment.
Joseph is asking, hasn't Waterworld been on the chopping block for a Potter expansion? As far as I'm aware, Waterworld is pretty much the golden child. Waterworld pretty much isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Not now, not anytime in the recent future. And honestly, the big elephant in the room with that question is it doesn't even have enough room. If Waterworld went, it's still not enough room for a true Potter expansion, which is, I think, something that we've discussed too in the past, is that it's just not enough. Can you kind of vouch for me on that as well and tell them I'm not crazy with that take?
Well, Waterworld is rated the #1 show in the park.
In the company.
So I think
in the company.
Oh, in the company itself, yeah. I mean, we even see a new park with Universal Beijing, if I'm not wrong. It's getting a whole Waterworld land.
Waterworld world.
Waterworld world.
Yeah.
And so I think in that case, Waterworld is pretty safe here in Hollywood. And like you mentioned, there's not really space for anything else to be added into it when it comes to like an attraction, for an example. Yeah, there's not really much space. So I'd say Waterworld is safe for now.
If you guys are just joining us, I just want to thank you for coming into Theme Park Shark Live. This is a Saturday night live stream that I'm going to try to keep up on a weekly basis. I'm excited to do this on, weekly with you guys and come in and chat with you guys. I do appreciate you being here. If you just got here, don't forget to leave a like on the stream so that YouTube will keep pushing out the live stream, keep bringing people in here, keep the conversation going, keep it fun. And if you guys do know someone that would appreciate coming in and talking about theme parks, definitely share the live stream link. It means a lot to me, and I appreciate you guys. We've kind of been centering our discussion so far on Universal Studios Hollywood, but honestly, I'm answering any of your questions. It can be about Disneyland, it can be about Disney World, it can be about Universal's Epic Universe, it can be about Universal Studios Florida, any questions that you guys have about theme parks across the board. It can even be about me, it can be about JP. If you guys have personal questions for us, we'll answer your guys' questions. So definitely keep leaving the questions, and I do appreciate you guys being here, so thank you so much. We're going to dive into the next question, which JP and I have talked about this a little bit. Dom Smith wants to know if there is a Mummy refurb for us to consider that may be on the way. Do you have any comment on that?
So yeah, as of right now, but there is a refurb coming along. I think their main goal for this is to get that final ending scene working once more. I know it stopped working in the mid 2010s, something like that. We had an original ending with fire in the room. I think it was projected fire. And then we also had projection effects towards the top. And it was really cool because it would put the ride together. It would make the ending actually make sense. You know what I'm saying? As of right now, it's just with a big flash, and it's pretty much the end.
The flash and an awkward silence, where I don't know if you know this, but I tend to say a random word or a random line every time there's that awkward silence so everyone in the car can laugh. So it's like, boom, and it's just silent, and I'll be like, well, that was a ripoff, and everyone just starts laughing. It's a funny moment, but yeah, they do need to get rid of that. As far as me and the Mummy refurb, I think there is a refurb slated, but honestly, I think this ride is potentially on the chopping block more than anything. We'll see a refurb before the chopping block, I assume, but I still see Mummy, in my opinion, as the next attraction that is on the way out at Universal Studios Hollywood. This is kind of an interesting question by Runko Pops. His question is, do we need an amusement park in Las Vegas? And what would you like if they do? I'm going to go ahead and dive into this one first, JP, if you don't mind. I've had the idea for a theme park in Vegas for a long time. And then I've kind of considered, well, is it right? Is it, the right crowd? And then I kind of geared towards maybe a theme park for adults. Maybe it's an extension of, the casinos and something fun that you can do. Obviously, we have the Adventure Dome. We have coasters at New York. We have theme park experiences, but we don't have a adult theme park. So I'm thinking something along the lines of Epcot, maybe an around the world kind of drinking thing, something that kind of just has the debauchery of Vegas, but in a theme park. I think it could be interesting. I think it's an interesting idea. What do you think, JP?
I love that idea. My only Las Vegas isn't really known for its cleanliness.
Right.
So if they were to keep up with the cleanliness and maintenance on the park, it would definitely be an amazing addition to Vegas, especially on the Strip. Adventure Dome, for an example. Eek. So my recent visit to Adventure Dome wasn't the best, I have to say. The tickets were raised from $20 to a good $45.
Wow. Yeah.
Just for a few rides. So I'm like,
Now, I don't know if you know this, JP, or if the viewers know this. There actually is a defunct park there as well. Did you know this?
I think so.
At MGM Grand, they had their own theme park. And they didn't go the route of an adult-style theme park. They kind of went the Adventure Dome route, but they honestly kind of went the Universal Studios Hollywood route. It was like an MGM movie park. And they had a lot of kind of interesting dark rides and even some simulators that if you ever get a chance, JP, definitely search them up on YouTube. They're kind of interesting POVs out there of these rides. It's kind of an interesting park. There's still remnants in the parking garage of MGM. At least there used to be, with signs that said theme park and an arrow still pointing. It's definitely interesting.
That's very interesting. I didn't even know that, and I always stay at the MGM Grand.
Yeah, that's a good piece of history to look up. It's a good theme park nugget to know. Let me see. Punk Nerd. No, that's awesome. Julian said last time that they were at Six Flags Magic Mountain, there was some construction going on by Green Lantern, and I also saw many marks by the entrance to Riddler's and inside the title. So, any comment on Magic Mountain, JP?
Well, you guys know me. I'm pretty much there like at least 2 to 3 times a month. Of course, Theme Park Obsession. He's there like almost every week,
Sure.
uh, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, Tidal Wave is usually one of those attractions that are closed, but opened seasonally. Usually, they don't really receive much attendance through the months of January to April, I'd say. And then after that, when it gets warmer in the air, a lot of oh my gosh, a lot of people attend Six Flags Magic Mountain. So everything you're seeing with those marks and whatever, they're probably just scheduling annual maintenance for these attractions before the summer crowds come in. So everything's normal. As for Green Lantern, that ride shut down. I'm gonna say 5 years ago, and they recently tore down Am I saying this right? Green Lantern? Yeah, Green Lantern. Sorry, I
Yeah.
was thinking Riddlers. Yeah, Green Lantern shut down around 5 years ago. They recently tore down the track and they're moving it to La Ronde, if I'm not wrong, which is in Canada. It's like
Interesting.
their Six Flags Park.
Hmm.
Uh, so this definitely opens up land for a new attraction. We don't know anything that's gonna happen, right?
It,
Like
it,
as of
it's all speculation at this point for sure. Like what's going to happen in that spot. But I think what we do know is that there is some sort of attraction slated, right?
yes.
Yeah.
I'm. Can I? Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. Please go ahead.
Something I'd personally love to see utilized in that space is an RMC Raptor. It's
Hmm.
kind of like a single track attraction. I don't know if you've heard of Wonder Woman out in Fiesta, Texas, if I'm not
Oh
wrong.
yeah, I've been on it.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's a
I'd
cool.
love to see something similar here in Magic Mountain.
I'm actually going to be out there next week for SeaWorld's grand opening of Texas Stingray, and I will hopefully try to get to Fiesta, Texas as well while I'm out there next week. Hopefully, get on that ride. That's a good one. Sam wants to know if we think a meet and greet could possibly open where Walking Dead is slated right now. I guess this is obviously people are speculating past Horror Nights because we've already said the building's going to be empty until Horror Nights. So after Horror Nights, could it potentially be a meet and greet?
Hmm. It could actually. Looking at DreamWorks Theater, we saw more and more meet and greets appearing, especially around the theater. We have a whole section for King Julian, Shrek, Donkey, and like a small section for Trolls, which was actually themed. They went ahead and themed that whole little section with like small trees, cardboard trees, and really nice lights at night.
Sure.
Um, so for Secret Life of Pets, I'd love to see more meet and greets. I'd also love to see, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but I'd love to see a themed restaurant somewhat similar to Rainforest Cafe, except without
It'd be pretty cool.
those animals. We have animals that interact with people that are eating. So every so often, like every 15 minutes, everyone goes wild. You hear like wild music going
Yeah.
around. You see projection mapping of like rats. I don't know. Could turn
Rats.
into
I don't know if that's what you want while you're eating. You see projection mapped rats while you're eating. Come on, JP.
find just dogs and cats. You know what I'm
I know
saying?
what you're
That
saying, but like I just don't think that's what people want.
maybe not rats.
Yeah, definitely not rats.
But just pets in general.
Pets in general. Let's go with rabbits. Maybe rabbits. Would that be better? Snowball.
Yeah.
um, I've speculated on this as well. I'm still gonna address this question. There's been notices put out and kind of auditions that Universal's holding for a, I guess, voice actor that sounds like Kevin Hart to be in control of what's most likely going to be a snowball puppet. Expect this to be very much like Donkey Kong, like Mr. Ping. Not Donkey Kong, I'm sorry. What am I thinking? Donkey. I said Donkey. Expect this to be like Donkey at the Shrek meet and greets, like Mr. Ping at the Lunar New Year meet and greets. Something similar, but with Snowball from Secret Life of Pets. So there is going to be some sort of meet and greet interaction. I'm kind of speculating that might actually be in the queue, believe it or not, or maybe just around it. Um, Personally, what I would like to see in that area is still a walkthrough, but I want it to be a kid-friendly walkthrough. I want it to be like games. I want it to be like interactive elements. You can go up to screens and see yourself on the screen just like you can on the ride. I just want it to be like a fun walkthrough exhibit that kind of utilizes the space and still gives something to do within the park for kids lining up with the whole Illumination Street that they seem to be building at this point. That's kind of what I'm hoping for right now. If you guys are just joining us again, you can leave your questions in the comment section. Please do. JP and I'll be answering it. If you haven't checked out JP yet on YouTube, he is JPLand21. Got his username right here under his video, so definitely go check him out. He's at the park a lot more than me, so he has a lot of good construction updates for you guys, so you'll definitely want to check out his vlogs and see what he's saying about all the changes that are happening at Universal Studios Hollywood.
Thank you very much.
For sure. Another question from Julian. He wants to know when my merch is coming out. We're working on it right now. It should be out hopefully sometime probably next month, but it might come out the end of this month. I think we're at least a week or two away. 2 to 3, 4 weeks sounds really safe, but I would say at least 2 weeks away, and then you guys will be able to get some shark merch. I'm really excited for you guys to be able to rock this and send me your pictures. I want to challenge you guys to take pictures with shark merch in front of rides, and the first person that can get a picture in front of certain rides with the shirt will get a prize. So I think that's like a really cool thing to be a theme park shark. You can prove you're a shark, and you can go on the rides and take a picture in front of the ride, send it in. If you're the first one, you will be the shark of that ride. I think that's a cool thing.
The thing I'm most excited about for your merch, at least, I'd love to see the sticker.
Oh, the holographic one or the normal?
Yeah, the holographic.
So
that one looks crazy.
What JP's talking about is this right here, this logo right here on the bottle. We have that.
Really
yeah, we have that in sticker form, and it's holographic. It changes colors. It's really cool, and I'm gonna get you one of those, JP. Those are cool.
Yeah.
Let's see if we have any more questions here. Sam asked an interesting question. I've never had anyone ask me this question, so this is nice. Do we think a Madagascar ride could ever open at Universal in the future? I'm assuming that's just Universal Hollywood, if they want to know. But man, that's just an overseas attraction at this point. So that's interesting. I've never been asked that question. So that's a really great question. JP, feel free to attack that.
I was actually just talking to Mondo about this.
Really?
I'd love to see a Madagascar attraction here at Hollywood. I mean, have you seen the Singapore water ride?
Yes, of course.
Oh my gosh, that looks amazing.
So you want that exact ride just ported to Hollywood? Yes,
put it somewhere. Figure it out, Universal.
It'd be a good
that looks
fit,
incredible.
I mean, that's the style of attraction that Universal needs. It's a very physical, seems to be animatronic-based water ride. It would be a good fit, and I honestly don't know how much space that ride takes up. I've never looked into it that heavily. I don't know where it could go within the park. I'm assuming it would have to remain somewhere in the man, I don't know where it would go. It would
cough, Jurassic World.
We'll see. We'll move on from that one now. But yeah, I think that's a cool idea.
I just choked on a Skittle. No.
JP is not a fan of Jurassic World, if you guys can't tell. I will vouch though for you guys, and I will say I would not take Madagascar over Jurassic World. So as most of you probably think, that's just JP. He's crazy. I'm pointing the wrong direction. I got to figure these out. Thank you guys again for being here so much, spending your Saturday night with us. I'm excited that you are checking out Theme Park Shark Live. This is a super cool thing we're going to be doing on a weekly basis. So thank you guys so much for being here. Julian is asking another great question. What is the virtual queue for Secret Life of Pets? Just what is it? Can you try to, I guess, break that down in your best terms?
Have you heard of the Rise of Resistance boarding pass?
Okay.
What's
that, JP?
Okay, so how do I explain this? So Universal has this app called the Uni Studios app. Download it if you don't have it already. If you visit the park, definitely a handy dandy tool, especially with Secret Life of Pets opening. It's going to be utilizing a virtual queue system, which I'll explain what it is. So what I'm assuming right now is, because we don't have virtual queue here in Hollywood, not necessarily, but what you do is you essentially just click the time you want to visit the attraction or show. I guess they're leaning into shows now. So you click the attraction, then it'll show a time on when to visit the attraction, and that's, how do I explain this? So it's not like your standard queue. You're not waiting in line for anything. It's kind of an interactive experience. So you get to, while waiting in line, you're just kind of set into different rooms. I feel like you went to Orlando, so I think you might know how to explain it a little
Yeah,
better.
it's a virtual queue is just it's not a physical queue. It's a queue that you can submit for on the app, and once you submit for it, it gives you a time. It gives you times you can return. We have it in place right now for Waterworld. We have a very light scale version of virtual queue in place for Waterworld. So basically, all it means is that you're going to be giving the park a time that you would like to return, and basically once you return, you show them your return. You walk in the ride, and it's basically a pretty free trip onto the ride. There's not much of a queue or a line. You just kind of go through the pre-shows. You experience it kind of as rides should be experienced, just kind of without lines. It's kind of nice. But yeah, you go through it and you just come back at the time and you get to experience the park while you're essentially waiting in line virtually. That's the whole point of it, is you are waiting in line virtually on your phone for your moment to come back and ride the ride. That's exactly how it goes.
Someone just mentioned, is it like the Jimmy Fallon ride? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it is. It's exactly like the Jimmy Fallon. Matthew Emerson just subscribed, so thank you, Matthew, for subscribing to the YouTube channel. I definitely appreciate that a lot. Thank you so much for subscribing. Let me see.
It's quiet, so I'm gonna say,
Yeah, please.
I feel like
I'm
a
looking through
Six Flag
comments.
dad. I have so much Skittles on me right now.
That's a lot of Skittles. Solid
It's
Work
Valentine's
Studio
Day.
said, how do we feel about the face recognition that they're using in Beijing to let guests into the park? I don't know if that's confirmed. Is that confirmed? Have you heard that, JP?
Can you repeat that? Sorry, it's not updating on my side.
They want to know what we feel about the face recognition technology that's going to be used to let guests into the Beijing theme park. I haven't kept up with the Beijing theme park, so I am not even fully up to date on that rumor. Have you heard anything about that, JP?
Actually, yes. Almost similar to what Six Flags is doing now. Or actually, Disneyland uses this technique. So once you scan your ticket into the park, they take a picture of your face. Or if you have a pass, of course, they'll just scan your pass and it'll show your face, and that's how they let you in. It's a way to avoid that whole turnstile option. It makes things go way faster. You know what I'm saying?
So I think the main thing that people tend to have issue with that is just like a privacy thing. People get spooked out about facial recognition technology for whatever reason. But I guess we're both speculating that it's going to be utilized in a way that should be pretty efficient for the park and hopefully isn't too incredibly invasive as far as your privacy and if you guys have concerns about that. Definitely keep leaving your questions. I'm watching the chat right now as we speak. Definitely want to keep answering your guys' questions. JP, I'm going to task you with something. What if you could do anything to Despicable Me Minion Mayhem? I put it in my community tab that. Am I lagging right now? Or can you hear me?
No, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. I put it in my community tab that I wanted to see what ride that they would take out, if any, at Universal Studios Hollywood to put in a new attraction. I gave them many options. Despicable Me pretty much killed it. Like, it wasn't even close. Despicable Me was like the one attraction everyone was like, I want gone. So if I'm tasking you with that, A, do you agree with them? Are you taking out Despicable Me? And B, if you are, what are you going to do?
All right. So in my standpoint, yes, I would remove Despicable Me. In the marketing standpoint, I don't think they'll remove Despicable Me. Despicable Me has probably been one of the main marketing tactics that have been very successful besides Harry Potter, of course. So of course they're not going to remove that ride anytime soon. But there is something I would see them doing. Instead of replacing it with a whole different attraction, I would replace Despicable Me with Despicable Me, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I'd replace it with a different type of attraction. So instead of having it just a screen-based attraction, replace it with a dark ride.
Yeah.
I'd love to see something similar to that. So actually, Universal has done something similar with the technique I want to go for. Have you seen the Shrek ride from, I think, Warner Brothers Studios, if I'm not wrong? It's kind of like a puppeteered version
I have
of
seen
Shrek.
that ride.
So that's the one way I want to see Despicable Me pulled off. Kind of in like a close from my idea.
No.
I know.
Guys,
I'm
am I
amazing.
still lagging? Can you let me know if I'm still lagging? Hopefully things are better now. I think it should be really smooth now, actually.
It's getting a little better, yeah.
Yeah, hopefully that fixed it. Sorry, I think I had one too many things running on my computer here. So hopefully that fixed some things. Seem good? Seem good? You thought I was just speechless? That's funny.
There we go. Camera angles back to normal.
Cool.
Motion Gate Dubai. There it is.
Yeah, Motion Gate Dubai, exactly. Could a Rip Ride Rocket work as another thrill coaster for Universal Studios Hollywood?
Whoa. So the main issue. Oh, voice crack. Nice. So the main issue of having roller coasters at Universal Studios Hollywood is that whole standpoint of neighbors being around. Did your live thing turn off?
No, it should be good.
I think I. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, it's just on Skype.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to help the lag here however I can.
Okay, so with having a roller coaster at Universal Studios Hollywood, it brings up, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of a risk for the park because there are a lot of people in Toluca Lake. That's the city closest to Universal Studios Hollywood. A lot of people there pay a lot of money to be in Toluca Lake. You know, the next thing the last thing they want to hear is just roller coasters going off right by their house.
That seems to be the main problem is sound with this park. Not the fact that they don't want to build these coasters, but it's a sound problem.
Yes, and I've heard a lot of people complaining about that, which I understand why they're complaining. Trust me, I feel you. But you know, if you're living right by a roller coaster, I don't think living right by a theme park, I don't think you want to hear a lot of sound. You know.
True.
Yeah.
Let's see the next question here. People are saying there's still a little lag. Hopefully there's not too much lag. Hopefully we're doing a little better.
Everything's running pretty smooth for me.
Perfect. This is a question we've gotten into a few times. What's your take on Stranger Things for Revenge of the Mummy, or even Stranger Things? I guess potentially where Walking Dead is. What's your opinion on Stranger Things coming to the park at all?
Again, in a marketing standpoint, it would be very, very beneficial for the park.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't doubt it. But it's only in the sense of if Universal would do that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I just put up a timer on the live stream. It's at 9:47. This is officially how much time we have left talking on the live stream today. So I just wanted you guys to know how much longer we're going to be in here. If you have questions, it's definitely time to get it in. The clock is now officially ticking. So get in on the questions. We've got 9 minutes and 30 seconds left with JP and I. Thank you again so much for being here. We're going to be doing these Saturday night live streams every Saturday or every other Saturday. I'm kind of deciding the schedule based upon your guys' feedback and how much you want the live streams and how much news is happening. So this is definitely the goal, is to have these Saturday night live streams pretty frequently. But I definitely do want to thank you guys for being here. It seems like we've gotten plenty of thumbs up, plenty of comments, and everything's going really well. So thank you guys so much for being here.
We have a question by Sam.
Yeah, what question are you seeing?
Do you think a cruise boat could open? LOL, probably not.
Where would that go?
I don't know. I don't want to say Jurassic because I don't want to be hating.
I like this question by SolidWorks Studios. The question is if we think Harry Potter even deserves another expansion with Fantastic Beasts and Epic Universe. If you guys don't know what SolidWorks Studios is referring to, this is one of the worlds that is rumored to be going in Universal's New Orlando theme park in Orlando Epic Universe. There is an entire world dedicated to Fantastic Beasts. It's not a Potter edition, but it's still an edition that is based in the Wizarding world. So it kind of raises question if we think... I think Harry Potter is always deserving of more theme park love. It has plenty. It has a lot. But man, it's a great franchise, and it fits really well in a theme park. But the question now becomes, does Fantastic Beasts deserve to be in a theme park? Because here's my hot take, and you guys can tell me if you agree. If Fantastic Beasts wasn't related to Harry Potter, if it was just its own film, if it was its own franchise, if it was its own thing trying to do its own world, Fantastic Beasts wouldn't be as successful as it is today. Fantastic Beasts, in my opinion, is successful because of the piggybacking and caring that it's getting from the Harry Potter brand and the fans of Harry Potter. So if it was its own thing, if it was doing its own, magic, and it was its own brand, I don't think people would like it as much as they do now, if people even do like it too much. But the question becomes, is it worth it, JP? Do you think they're doing too much Potter now, or what? Personally, I'll answer this question first before you even dive in, JP. I would have rather seen a different property, but you can tell me your thoughts.
So rather than Fantastic Beasts, you'd rather see another property?
I would have rather it just been Potter and give us the Harry Potter version of the Ministry of Magic, which is the London Ministry, because I think right now we're getting potentially a different Ministry of Magic from the Beast series, and I would have rather seen the Potter one. So
I agree. I did hear rumors that what was it? Fear Factor Live is going to get replaced with a Ministry of Magic. If I'm not
that's
wrong,
been a rumor since the opening of Diagon Alley. Like literally since Diagon Alley has been in construction, people have said the Ministry of Magic or Fear Factor Live is slated to be the Ministry of Magic, which never came to fruition. And I don't know if it's going to come to fruition today. But I think the fact that we're getting a Ministry in Epic Universe pretty much hurts those chances even more. Unless they go full Potter and they give us multiple ministries, how legendary would that be? I just don't know how feasible or possible that is. But hey, I've been surprised by Universal in the past. I don't know. What do you think?
I'm going to keep this answer short.
Yeah, go for it.
Because I don't want to lose time on other people's questions, obviously. I think it's time for Universal Hollywood, at least, for Potter to open another gate. That's my...
Yeah, why not?
You know...
I mean, if they can have it, they can figure out the space. It would be a good addition to our park. I agree.
Most likely not right next to the current park itself. Obviously, find a different location.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah.
We have a question here that just asked if I'm going to be. She meant live streaming with JP Land all the time. So Saturday Night Live, Theme Park Shark Live is kind of unique because I'm going to bring in different guests every week. You might see JP often, just because JP and I like to talk about Hollywood, and I love talking about Universal Studios with JP. So as much as JP wants to come in here, he will obviously come in. I think it's going to get to a point where I honestly have multiple guests slated for one show. So I think you're going to kind of get hits of multiple people throughout different shows as the live streams progress. But if you guys do want to see JP, definitely leave comments in my videos, leave comments on this live stream saying that you want more JP, so we can definitely get him on here for you guys. That's going to be an on-demand kind of thing. So if I see the demand from you guys, I will satisfy it. She also asked another great question, which is just when is the release date for Secret Life of Pets? Are you putting a specific day on it yet, or are you going with a time period, or what are you thinking?
As for the ride soft opening, I guess we can call it, we were just announced that on March 28th. We even received an email, actually, that during their Peacock Live event, they're going to be having Secret Life of Pets Off the Leash open.
Yeah.
So for soft openings, usually Universal has the same pattern of opening the ride for pass holders first, which didn't happen with Jurassic, actually.
No, it didn't.
But they did it for the entire public. So yeah, March 28th, I guess, is your confirmed date for Secret Life of Pets. As for a grand opening, it would have to be in April, as we saw in these past member handbooks, which is on my table right here.
Oh, I like that, JP. You're ready to go. That's handy. That's good.
Right here.
That's amazing.
Somewhere here.
So as JP is showing you guys, that is a past member booklet that was sent out to past members in the mail, and they have Secret Life of Pets officially slated in the April month. So JP is absolutely right. Everything he just said. Secret Life of Pets is going to open, officially grand opening, probably with a ceremony. They'll bring in cast members. You'll see Kevin Hart in the park. They'll have a big thing. There'll be fireworks, the whole 9 yards for a grand opening of a ride. That'll be in April. But people will be on this ride in March. The last week of March, we're probably either going to get an official soft opening in the park, or at the very least, we're going to see probably after hours riders. I've been thinking about this more and more. With Peacock Live, the park's open after hours, so I think they're going to take people in after hours. That's the way I've kind of figured that out. So I don't know.
And I think the crowds will. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, JP.
And I think the crowds will be like way less during Peacock Live after hours.
Yeah.
And that gives them an easier opportunity of testing out their whole virtual queue system. But you can continue.
So I think that last week of March, I think that's like a red hot week as far as like soft opening. Like just mark that down your calendar now. Like I may need to be at the park for a soft opening. March 28th, 29th, I believe those are the dates for Peacock Live. official days that you can ride it if you are an attendee of Peacock Live. That's confirmed. And then a grand opening in April. So good question. Thank you for your question. We got.
I'll be there. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll be there too, JP. 2
Yeah, I
minutes
know.
and 12
30
seconds.
seconds.
Yeah, left for you guys. Oh, you got 30. I have way less than that, JP. You're seeing the delay.
Yeah.
Go ahead though.
Yeah, I'd love to be there with you. That'd be really fun.
That would be fun. We should do like a combo blog.
Trying to get Mondo in there too. Hopefully he takes the offer.
Do the dynamic trio in a vlog.
All right, let's continue on these questions.
Julian's question is Star Tours ever going to be moved to Galaxy's Edge? My short answer is no. Yeah, JP said a hard resounding no there as well. We
wouldn't see it go away either, because they're putting in so much money into having newer versions of the ride being put out. All right, so next.
I'm going to do like a fast round in the final minute here. Brian said,
minute to win it.
What do we think of the new Universal Orlando ad that they released for Whoa? Did that possibly hint at a rumored Saturday Night Live club for City Walk? Did I miss something in that ad?
Oof. They should have us out. I feel like it's a little misleading, if you ask me, because they advertised it under Universal Studios Hollywood as well as Florida.
Right, it's a combo
Universal
commercial.
Hollywood. Yeah, they didn't really say Universal Hollywood and Florida in the ad. I feel like it's a little misleading. So you know what I'm saying? I wish they had, per ride, they said Universal Hollywood and Orlando, or Hollywood specific, Orlando specific. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Next question by Entertainer. Since Universal is short on space, would it be wise for Universal to build more of their attractions vertically, just so their attractions have more room, kind of like Rise of the Resistance? What do you think about that? It's kind of the San Francisco method. A lot of buildings in San Francisco are built that way.
Yeah, we even see this happening with Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Right now, you can see that it's almost 2 floors, with that third additional floor possibly being used for queue space.
Kind of interesting because it's reminiscent of Transformers Next Door. They're almost level. They seem like they're really close to each other. We all know Transformers is a multi-level attraction. In a park like Universal Studios Hollywood, it makes a lot of sense to build multi-level attractions. And we're out of time right now, but I am going to end it on a final thought, which is another interesting thing that JP and I were discussing as a potential replacement for the Mummy area over there for the Classic Monsters. The Classic Monsters e-ticket attraction is rumored to be a multi-level attraction. So does that make it fit into Hollywood even more? Let your wheels turn.
Yes.
Let your wheels turn, everyone. All right, guys, I just want to thank you for coming to Theme Park Shark Live. Like I said, we're going to be trying to do these every Saturday night for you guys, same time, always right around this time of day, or time of night, I should say. Thank you guys so much for being here. Definitely don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Definitely go ahead and subscribe to JPLand21 if you haven't subscribed to him as well. Great YouTuber, great friend, great guy. I think you will definitely enjoy his content.
Thank you very much.
If you guys haven't checked us out yet at themeparkshark.com, that's our website where we're doing all kinds of posts, all kinds of stuff. Those are the articles that officially kind of get posted before we even get news out onto YouTube. So it's a great way for you guys to stay in the loop on my content before it's even posted on YouTube. If you also want to become a Patreon supporter, patreon.com/themeparkshark gets you in the loop for exclusive gifts from me and even exclusive content before it's released on my YouTube channel. And it keeps the lights going, it keeps me running, and it really helps me out. And I appreciate all of you guys' support on the YouTube channel. But
me being a Patreon?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, shout out.
Sorry to cut me off.
JP is a Patreon of the Theme Park Shark. So JP,
since Saturday,
I have to thank you for your patronage. You are officially a patron. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
I have to say, you won't regret it. Really awesome.
so thank you so much, JP, for that glowing review of the Patreon program. But thank you guys so much for being here. I really do appreciate you spending part of your Saturday night with me, or whatever time it is for you. I really do appreciate you spending it with us. JP, again, thank you so much for coming here. I think we did a really cool thing, and I think a lot of people appreciated this. And yeah, guys, we're going to see you in the next, I'm not going to say live stream because I'm going to have plenty of videos out for you guys, but I will see you in the next one. Have a great night tonight, guys, and I will see you soon. Take care.
Peace.